Hi, I'm Claire in Derogakura. Do I look at you or do I look at the phone?
Try to look at the phone, I think.
Okay, start over.
Okay. Rewind.
Hi, I'm Claire in Derogakura, and I run Claire's Community Closet.
Here in lovely Lawrence, Kansas.
Hey.
Hey. So, could you tell us a little bit about the history of Claire's Community Closet? Like, why did you want to get that started? What motivated you? That sort of thing. How it was at the beginning.
Well, it actually started out of the blue. Nothing I ever thought I would do. It was just because I was interested in food, not bombs. The first time I actually did it, there was like nothing to do. I went and delivered one meal to someone, and then the very next time that I went, everyone had a COVID exposure.
Mm.
So then they asked me if I wanted to get a group of people together to run the whole thing and make it happen. We did. We cooked for 60 people.
Amazing.
Good Lord. And then because of that, it went really well. It was just a beautiful situation happening out at the library. I was like, what happens if we take clothes too? And from that point, the community closet was created. Like it just blew up.
Yeah, that's awesome. I actually did not know that. I mean, I knew you were involved with Food Not Bombs and that you continue, to do what you can with them, but I never knew that was like the catalyst for it.
Oh, yeah.
When did you come up with the name Claire's Community Closet? Like, was it just from the beginning, or did that come later?
Actually, I was forced to come up with a name.
Which is good. That
Um,
happens sometimes.
one of our wonderful local advocates there is my dear son, Juniper. I'll just say Juniper. Was just like, hey, what's your thing? What do you do? You know, yeah, you should really put it out there. And I was like, I don't know. So I just came up with that on the fly because actually a lot of the stuff that I was giving away was mine.
Yeah.
Yes, hi, come here. So it was from my closet and it was like the community. So it was Claire's community.
Okay, so after you did that, you started it with the stuff from your closet or whatever. Like, what was the next steps to then? Like you said, it blew up. What was that process like?
Honestly, it was just I put out a couple calls for supplies, things that people needed, whatever they requested when we were out there in front of the library with Food Not Bombs. And every time I did, it was like a landslide of items.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, okay, I got to get this out of my house. I got to go somewhere. Just, it was like a natural evolution. I got a building. Um, I had like needed to get the money for a deposit because I didn't have it up front. But I was like, hey, if people want me to keep doing this, maybe they'll help. I put it on ask for help for the first month rent and deposit, and I ended up getting 6 months
Wow.
in like two. And actually, it was one day. People gave me like 6 months deposit. So
That's amazing. That's when we met. Also, was when you moved out of that space,
yes,
which is wild to think about. Like, I mean, I saw. I think I've told you this story, but for whatever. Like we started our things like I saw the official like Claire's Community Closet starting thing like I think either a couple weeks before I officially launched Get It or a couple weeks after. I can't remember exactly what it was,
so crazy.
but I remember the first time I saw that I was like, I need to know this woman. Like I will find a way. I'm like I'm gonna be patient. Like it'll be take time, but like I'm like we are doing like I was like I think we're gonna be so simpatico.
Yes.
Which was awesome. And then so from that space that you were in at the beginning, how was that? What was that like? Like, was it good in that space over in the Seed Co?
Yeah, it was good. It was a little cold, so that wasn't fun for me. But no, it was good. It was great. It was just like somewhere to just go ahead and drop in and just figure out like, is this something I want to keep doing? How does it work? Um, I there were a couple other people in that building. Um, yes. Oh, I forgot her name.
The artist that was in there too.
Angie.
Yeah.
Oh, what's her last name? So there was an artist in the building who her Angie is her first name. I can't remember her last name just because I'm tired. Love you, Angie. Holler. She has beautiful art. She's a beautiful person. She actually was like really supportive. And she also dealt with like my chaos of being in there because let's be real, I'm a little chaotic.
Yeah. I mean, and it's a chaotic business in general.
Yeah. So yeah, it was great. It was nice just having a place to put everything
Yeah.
to then get it out.
Yeah, for sure. And then you ended up moving into your own house, right? Too after that.
Yeah, the 6 month lease had been up, and Angie wanted to go ahead and expand into the area that I was in, so it worked out, and I had won the United Way's equity grant, so that covered a lot of overhead for the apartment that's like the duplex that my house is. So I went ahead and just moved it there. So then I knew I could like be able to handle it. I could limit how much came in. Basically, I could continue to run it myself for however long I wanted to.
Tell us, speaking of the shop, tell us what are the peaks and pits of running a buy donation thrift shop?
Awesome. So there are definite peaks, which I love. We have a shop. It's great. Like people can get there. We don't really do private appointments anymore, except for Work for Success. We do private appointments for the people in Work for Success. Love y'all. Um, but it's nice just to have people who can get in there during our open hours whenever they need to, instead of having to like jump all over the place to try to do things, or try to go deliver. Like it's still nice to be able to deliver to people. But as we get deeper into this and like really putting more of our energy into it, it's better if people can get to the shop.
Like the
Another,
consistency is nice of just like
yeah,
these are the hours that we're open.
yeah,
Come when you can.
because we have families and lives
Yep.
and like activities and also our health. So it's nice that we can just have it in one place. Another peak is, I don't know, it's just like, it's so great having like regular people who come in and get things that they need. And then you hear about somebody else that came into the shop, and like you kind of see how we're affecting people in the community and how it's growing. And it's just so lovely.
Yeah. It is fun to like be a part. Like I never thought I've never done retail. Have you ever worked retail?
Oh, I very much have
Okay, yeah, I
worked
was gonna say I
retail.
thought that because you have that experience that I do not have, and it is like it is fun sometimes to just like have a shop. Like I always think of myself as like in a video game, like the shopkeeper, like that you go to and
Yeah.
you're like, what can I trade? What can I do? Like that's one of my favorite things about it. Okay, so what about pits? What are the worst things about it?
Obviously, I think one of the worst things is just like having to think about the overhead. Um, so for me, this the closet has always been like a resource for people to get things that they need. Yes, thank you. I wanted it to be free. I didn't want to have to charge anyone anything like that, but we have to be realistic. We need money to run things. Then my amazing partner, Megan, has her idea for Gigi and has like the buy donation thrift store. So being able to combine those and like have our visions come together and work really well to be able to serve people in the community is amazing. But I do think that people get it confused that we're like, you need to pay, and you have to pay for the items that you come in and get. Like that's kind of frustrating that people think that. It's just really important that people do understand that yes, we do need to be able to keep the doors open. So, in the spirit of community, anyone can make a donation, and we would love it if anyone can make a donation to do that.
Yeah.
Whether you're in the store that day, or you can do it 2 months later, or you don't even come into the store, but you feel like you understand our message and want to help people live better lives, drop a dollar.
Yep. Yeah, just money stuff in general is just like one of the worst things about life. So it's
Yes.
like it translates right to the same thing for sure.
Yes, definitely.
Can you tell us real quick about what the idea of a mutual aid organization means to you, and why it's so important to categorize Claire's Community Closet that way?
Yeah. For me, Claire's Community Closet is definitely a mutual aid resource. So items come in, money, anything that people request that they need. Um, I believe them that they need it. They tell me that they need it, and so I figure out a way to get it to them. I think that's one thing that's really important, is having that trust so that people know what they need, and that they just receive it. So they have autonomy and control of their own lives, so they can do the thing. I think a lot of people give that to me to make sure that I'm okay, and can live my life. And so I also received mutual aid in doing this process. And so the closet is definitely a mutual aid resource as well.
Yeah, because it's also not formally like mutual aid is very specifically outside of sort of the confines and the like restrictions of a hi of a traditional nonprofit organization, you might
Yes,
say.
also, we're not a charity. It's all about solidarity, not
Mm-hmm.
charity. There goes so. Yeah, this isn't a charity organization. It's not a 501(c)(3) or nonprofit, but that is the connection that we do have with Gigi, so that we can, we still live in the world. We just, are not exactly of the world. So,
That's a good way to say it for sure. Okay, so what is one thing or like the one thing that you really wish that people knew about what you do and why you do it?
yeah, I think that what I'd really like people to know is that we do this out of love, for sure. 100% love for community, love for ourselves. But also, we do this because we want the world to be different. Um, Capitalism.
It's a joke.
The world, things need to be different. Access to resources, to everyday needs, shouldn't be so difficult. There shouldn't be so many barriers, and we are trying to help alleviate that. We, yeah, we're doing the thing.
All right, so to get into some of the more personal things about you, Claire, what are some of the best things about life right now, and what are some of the worst?
I feel like some of the best things about life right now are just the community that we're continuing to build. Um, just like with friends as well. We've added a person into the store, Lottie. So Lottie is able to make a little bit of money and also like help us grow. And it's like we have another family member. I think us like growing our friendship and also becoming like family is really great. Like being able to drop off Soren here so that I can have a little bit of like lifetime, and him coming home and just being so like happy, and just like sharing our lives together is really amazing. And I think right now, like some things that are really difficult. My father passed recently, and I've had a very complicated relationship with parents in general. Because I grew up in foster care. I was with my mom until I was like 12, but that wasn't a great relationship. And so it's a lot of things to unpack and deal with, especially with his death. And so that's been very hard. Um, and then also personally, just dealing with like mental health in my marriage. Um, that's been hard. But the great thing is like life keeps going. We're going to keep doing the thing. My kids are fantastic. I don't know if you can see him right now, but he's just doing what it is. Lulu is, me, but cooler.
Actual perfection. Yeah.
Just cooler.
Yeah.
So, it's, we're just
Yeah.
doing the thing, living.
Yeah. I'm honestly always like so impressed and astounded and like by you and your like resilience, which I know is a thing of like, why do you have to be fucking resilient?
Why do I have to
Like
be
it's
so
so shitty
resilient?
that that's like a thing, but it's like the ability that you have of being like resilient, but also like soft and comfortable. Like though, like that juxtaposition is crazy to me. Of like, how does one human have that in their fucking head and like do that? Like the fact you're going through all of this shit, everything has been happening with your family, extended family, all these things, and you're still like picking people up to take them to appointments and doing these things and like running the shop and running Jane of all trades and doing all that stuff. Like it's actually insane to see, and it shouldn't have to be that way, but it is just incredibly like, damn, dude. Like I'm just always so impressed by that situation and like your ability to hold both of those things in your head. Like how? Like literally, how do you even do that? I don't understand.
I don't know. I don't know if it's just like compartmentalizing or if it's just like, honestly, I feel like I'm finally in my lane in life. I know that there's room to grow, but I feel like this is exactly where I'm supposed to be. And because of that, and the people that I'm surrounded with, and the people that support me, like support us, I couldn't do any of it without y'all. And like, you have no many, like, you are often someone that I talk to, but then there's also like, I have someone who I know will tell me to take care of myself. So I'll like message her and be like, this is what's happening. So we've got that person making sure that I'm doing that thing. And then we have this person making sure that I'm doing that thing. Like the community is real.
Yep.
And I think that's the only reason I can like do all the other things too.
For sure. Next question. What is your birthday wish? Is there anything that you want for your birthday more than anything else?
Well, I wanted a whole birthday month. Anyway, that did not turn out well. No, specifically for my birthday this year, I would really, really like and appreciate just a little help with our overhead to make sure we can just keep the store operating. Um, so that would be donations to either our Patreon with Give It Get It Inc. I just feel like for this year, it's just taking care even more, just taking care of ourselves and hi baby um and you know just doing the damn thing even better than we did before.
Yep. Trying not to add new things on that we can't handle, but just perfecting processes.
Not too many side quests, but we both have ADHD, so there will be side quests.
Yep. Okay. Who are you? What are you doing here?
What am I doing here? Watching him fuck up all your tissues.
That's okay. He can do whatever he wants. Like, that's one of those things, and I don't know if you understand. Okay, so speaking of a shop, Soren, you're gonna steal the show there, buddy.
He's totally gonna steal the
He's
show.
totally gonna. He also like the perspective right now is hilarious. His head looks like the size of your body from the way that this perspective is.
Amazing.
He's obsessed with that book now too. It's so cute. I love it. He just like brings it over to me and is like, "Read this to me."
Yes, he is like he'll hit you with things if you don't read them.
Yeah.
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 So, have you started?
Oh yeah.